Hey family, friends, YouTube people, it's Ryan again. I finally get to show you guys the big landscaping project I've been working on the past many weeks. Had an idea in my head and I made it a reality. This video is gonna be basically two parts. The first part is gonna be much faster. I'm gonna just take the camera around and you're gonna see what I've done. And the second part is me actually going into each part and explaining what was done, and you get an idea if you want to do something like that for yourself. So let's just take you around. This is the front of my house. All that to the right over, except for those bushes on the end, were already there, but this pathway is new. This is the big thing I worked on. Everything over here was just grass before. And now it's a whole lot more. Let's get the animals in. And that's it. A big long pathway and a little orchard. 12 fruit trees over here. 2 apple trees over here. Up front was a pomegranate, and the way up front were blueberries. So let's go back up front and I'll go into detail on everything. Those that like to do something like this. Okay, first thing, my wife really wanted a paver pathway over here. When it's raining, she doesn't have to walk in the grass and get anything dirty. So this only took about a day. Turned out exactly how I hoped. It's really good, does a great job. You're gonna see there's lights everywhere. Those lights are actually wired up, they're LED. They're all Hampton Bay from Home Depot. They're very good quality, and the light output is actually quite nice. These are a little bit dimmer, but they give good light broadcast over here, and the ones around the side give a lot more light. Now, typically with pavers, you have to dig down about 6 to 8 inches and do lots of gravel and sand. I use these paver bases called Brock paver base panels. You can get them at any hardware store. They are really, really good at make the job a whole lot easier. Save you a lot of time, a lot of back-breaking labor. Over here, like I said, this bed was already here. I fixed some drainage issues that was over here. With some limestone and some large rocks. You see spotlights that project on the house. I have 4 blueberries up here, different varieties. I'm gonna have to acidify the soil so they'll eventually make blueberries. All of our large trees now have spotlights. They look really good at night. Up front is our 5th blueberry right here with the light. And another light right here. This is the transformer or the power source for the lights everywhere. It does a great job. Provides plenty of power. A little aloe plant up here. This little garden area will eventually be for herbs or things that don't need much sunlight. I fixed the drainage over here. Actually had found there was a huge cavity underneath this concrete right here because old drain pipe that came with the house was going underneath that concrete panel, which is the reason why it sunk over time. I had to fill up the whole area. It's about 2 wheelbarrows full of limestone. On this side, it did not have rain gutters before, so I put those all in, because if I didn't, the rain coming off the roof would have drowned the trees and it would never survive. This got the same treatment as the pavers over there. This has basically, I took a sod cutter and cut out everything that you see, and then leveled the land, or leveled the area, used a plate compactor to compact it down, then put in sand, to basically a yard of sand to level it all, and I put the paver based panels down. They're basically a high density styrofoam, and then I edged it and put in the what's it called, Black Star granite, or the what you see, the black stuff, and then these large 2 foot by 2 foot pavers, which I got from Lowe's. And all these stones, they're all from Lowe's. This right here is a pomegranate, and of course the lighting's right there. You see I've got some beefy drainage. I didn't have to worry about that at all. Coming over here, have an arbor, which I painted. Looks pretty nice. Again, lights going down the pathway, makes it look really nice at night. Over here, we've got 2 different types of grapes growing right here, and they'll eventually cover the whole thing. There's a bell pepper in there, and then some onions over here. My wife found these little glass blocks. Let's see if I can get it to light up. It's too much light. They're solar. They're not wired, but they just light up at night. Looks really, really nice. Coming through here, this is the big garden bed, or now orchard bed, I can call it. Sod cutted everything out of there. I put in the stones, then put in a temporary fence with weed barrier, which you can kind of see right here. And I did it with stakes, so I had about 50 stakes going around the whole thing, stapled the fence or the weed barrier to those stakes, and filled in the gap with the limestone, about 2 yards of limestone, but have plenty of drainage. And you're also going to see there's basically a 100-foot drain pipe with a sock that goes all the way around it to ensure there's good drainage all the way around. I didn't mess with the slope at all. I kept the slope because I want that drainage going away from the house like I had before, and then going down and away into the drainage for the neighborhood, just like it always has. It's 3 courses high all the way around. After I had the limestone and all the other stones laid in, I put in 7 yards of soil, and then 3 yards of mulch on top, and it's got plenty of nutrients for these 12 trees. Let's go through the trees real fast. We've got 2 different types of apple trees. I think this is the Anna, and the other one is the Dorset, and they're grown what's called espalier. It's a French term. It's been around since the medieval ages, but basically it's a way of training a tree to grow in a flat area. And you can do all sorts of different designs. Just Google espalier, E-S-P-E-L-I-E-R, and you can find all sorts of different cool designs. That's actually an apple right there. I'm trying to keep birds off of it using pantyhose, very mainly. Anyways, here's the paver pathway, like I said. I've got some benches just for relaxing. It's a really nice area out here at night. These posts don't go very deep. They're not in concrete or anything. They're only about 1.5 foot deep, but it's plenty deep, and it's kind of a clayish soil, so it keeps it nice and rock solid over here. Like I said, there's 12 trees over here. I'll just go through them real quickly. This is a 2-in-1 plum, so two different varieties of plum grafted onto one rootstock. We have 2 different kinds of pears, 2 different kinds of jujubes. Haven't had a jujube before, but I'm excited to try it. This is a fig right here, a peach, a nectarine, 3 different types of orange, citrus, clementine, mandarin oranges, and then finally we have a grapefruit over here. As I pointed out earlier, there's lighting all the way through. It goes basically underneath the granite rock. This is just a regular mailbox, but hey, yard tools. Smart idea came across. Over here, got to represent Texas. There you go. If you don't like it, thumbs down. I understand. Actually, I don't understand. Texas is wonderful. Cats like to get outside. I have to cover the gap down here. Over here, there's a rain barrel, simply hooked up to the drainage. So this is the bypass over here. Basically, The water goes into this reservoir and then down into the rain barrel. Once the rain barrel fills up, it goes all the way up this tube. It basically spills over and goes into the gutter, down into that drain, and that drain goes under the ground and empties at that pop-up valve right over there. This rain barrel holds 65 gallons, and it actually has a little planter on top, so we have some tomatoes and another bell pepper over here. 2 different valves, one just for a regular hose, which I've just got hooked up over here, which I can hook up to that soaker hose over here. And then this other valve, I can fill up I basically have a little hand water over here. And that's it. Probably could go into a whole lot more detail. There was weed barrier, sorry, let me just tell you all the layers. I messed up the layers. So it's the regular dirt that's underneath, weed barrier, sand, then the sand that's leveled, the granite and the stones, and that's it. And the wiring for all the lights underneath. And those 2 globe things they're solar lights too. Just I thought they might look nice. Whoa, don't close on me, Gate. I think that's it, guys. If y'all have any questions, just let me know. And if this is YouTube, shoot them up in the comments, and I'll be glad to answer them. For anybody that has a question, those little bags right there are basically wasp deterrents. Then put them all through the backyard. You see it on the arbor too. I've been doing that for the past 4 years or so, and if there's a year that I forget to do the bags or do them too late, we have wasp problems. Whenever I do them, we don't. So it's a great way of getting rid of those pesky wasps sometimes, which are fun when you're mowing the lawn. But I think that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. And y'all have a good day. Goodbye. Guys, Ryan again. It's about dusk right now, and I just wanted to show you all what the house and the garden area looks like with the lights. And also I have one more detail about the trees I forgot to mention. We'll get to that in just a second. So here's what the lights look like. You have the spotlights on the trees. They project up and look really nice. Have the spotlights on the house. They look good. Let's see if we can get everything in focus. There we go. Well, that's not very good. There we go. Sorry about that. So you have the pathway lights. Pathway lights, they leave plenty of light for the paver pathway. You have these down pathway lights. Again, plenty of light. These look really nice over here. And then the porch light has plenty of light on its own. We'll come over to that main area I showed you all earlier. Then the pomegranate tree has a light right next to it. And here's the path. Right here. Plenty of lights going down. You can see those solar glass lights right about there. Just a few of them, 4 of them. The apple trees have spotlights on them. I might reduce the power on those later. So these pathway lights make plenty of light. You can see that solar pathway light there. Keep on going down, you can see all these lights. Like I said, it's really nice here at night. It's a really chill place to relax. Alright, the last detail about these trees I didn't mention. They're all grown in a style, I guess you would call it backyard orchard, but you don't want them to grow full size. If they grow full size, it's just going to be a pain in the butt. These trees can get 20, 30, 40 feet tall if you let them, and you're not going to want to climb a tree to try to get the fruit. You don't want to have to trim all that. So you keep it at a height that basically you can reach. So I'm 6'8". I'm not really going to let them grow anywhere taller than 8'5", 9 feet by themselves, because that's just would be a pain. So basically what you do when you get them, you lop them off. Most of these trees were anywhere from 4 to 6 feet tall when I first got them. And what you do is you come in about 18 inches or knee height and you just lop it off. And what it does is it forces the tree to make sprouts much lower. You see this guy right here, he's got lopped off and he's made a sprout down here. The plum is an exception. It had 2 grafts much higher up, so I had to cut it just a little bit higher. Let's come over to, say, this peach over here. You see this guy, he got lopped off right there, and it's forced growth lower. And what you do is you basically just keep up with it. You only have to prune it once a year and keep it low. And you keep them from touching each other, and that keeps them at a reasonable size so you can actually enjoy these trees instead of considering them to be a pain over the years. So that was that last detail. Again, if y'all have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.